I'm sorry for how many tags you guys are getting this week. Again, I'm getting my wisdom teeth out and I haven't had time to plan any actual, like, other content. Hey, it's Jay, and I'm here today with a thank you next book tag. This was originally created by The Story Ain't Over, and I will link her video down in the description. I was tagged by G at originally GG Books and now studying GG, and I will put her video down in the description as well. Also, look at my shirt. I think it goes with the mood of the tag. So the first question is a book that you said thank you next to, i.e. a book you DNF'd, and that for me is We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. I'm quite disappointed about this because a lot of people that I know have rated it 5 stars, but like for me the plot just seems useless and the character is so pessimistic, it's freaking ridiculous, and like it doesn't help my mental health at all. And I just don't like pessimistic characters. Like, a little bit of pessimism is fine, but this character is nothing but pessimism. It's freaking ridiculous, and so I was about halfway done when I had to stop reading it, and maybe I'll go back to it eventually, but right now it's a no-go. The next question has 3 parts. First one is name a book that taught you love, and that is 180 Seconds by Jessica Park. This is a new adult novel, and I've mentioned it on almost every tag, and I did a review for it. But it's about this girl who spent 16 years of her life in the foster system, and so she doesn't trust people easily. She doesn't let herself get attached to anyone because she kept going from family to family. And then one day she gets pulled into this social experiment where she has to stare into somebody's eyes for 3 minutes, 180 seconds, and she becomes vulnerable and she has to deal with the aftermath of that. It was really interesting. It was the first NA book I read. Give it 5 stars. I loved it. And it, like, made me believe in certain things again. A book that taught me patience is The Father by Sharon Olds. This is a poetry collection that I had to read in my intro to poetry class about a year ago. And I liked this, but, because, like, it talked about dealing with someone's father growing old and dying and all the consequences of that, like losing their memory, having to deal with bodily fluids, and it was really sad, and it was really intense, and it's not like my type, it's not like my style of poetry that I like to read, but it was still good, and so it taught me patience. A book that taught me pain is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I'm assuming that all of us, or the vast majority of us, have read the Hunger Games trilogy by now, but the end of the second book was such a cliffhanger. I was just like, Peeta, Finnick, everybody, where are my babies? And it just, even though I read the last book immediately after I finished this one, it was still a moment of The next question is really long, so I'm going to be reading it directly from my laptop. It's name a book that you loved the first time you read it, but upon later, but in hindsight, you didn't love it anymore, but you still learned something valuable from it. And that for me is The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. And for me, because the first time I read this, I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. The quote I love from this is, "The truth is rarely pure and never simple," and it's one of my favorite quotes, but I read it again in 12th grade, and I was like, this is really weird and pretentious, and I don't like it. So, number 7 is name a book you're currently talking to, i.e. a book you have the hots for. And this book is I'm going to be reading during the BookTube Games and in February. That is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. This is a queer book where it has to do with religion and it has to do with writing a book in 3 months, and the cover is beautiful. I've heard so many good things about it. I am so excited to read this. I don't know why I've been pushing it, holding off. I guess because I'm worried it's not going to live up to the hype, but I'm so excited. Number 8 is to name a book that helped you love yourself a little bit more. And again, I always mention this, but it's Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan. This book, I I first read this book and series when I was just starting to develop depression, and it was a light in the darkness because it was so funny, and later got diverse, and the writing, I love the writing and the characters and everything about it, and it was my favorite series as a teenager. Technically I guess still is because I'm still a teenager, but you know. And number 8 is to tag someone. I don't know who hasn't done this tag, and so if you're watching this and you want to do it, then I tag you to do it, and I hope you have as fun doing it as I did. That's all I've got for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and hit the subscribe or ring the little bell so you get notified whenever I upload. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday, and in the description are links to my different social medias, including Goodreads, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, etc. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.